Hi, welcome to the Afrocentric Woman. Thank you for tuning in. I want to come on here to talk about my roster. I don't know that I'm going to give like a person by person update, but what I can tell you in general is that I am extremely happy with my roster right now. I am. I'm very happy. Um, I love it. I just love it. I love everything that it is serving me right now. I'm loving my date offers. I'm loving everything. Um, Recently this guy reached out to me. He was a like an old contact because I have forgotten about him. I really haven't one of the dating apps I'm on, I'm not on there very much. And in fact, I actually ended my subscription. So whenever my time runs out, which I don't know, like whatever that is, I think it runs out in like 1 month or 2 months. Whenever it runs out, I'm not renewing it for the unforeseeable future because I want to try a different app. That app is just not serving very much. Um, right now, I'm most interested in situations where a man can reach out to me first and where I get a lot of traction with guys reaching out to me. I don't want to be the one reaching out to them because when you do that, you really just don't know if you're their preference and you can end up wasting your time. So this guy, the one who I read like the throwback or the just the forgotten about guy, I guess I must have swiped on him a long time ago. I totally forgot about it. And he popped up and he popped up again and I went ahead and decided to have a conversation with him. And it was hard to keep him on track as far as actual dating. He just seemed like want to ask me a bunch of questions and I don't like answering a bunch of questions that are irrelevant to dating. Red flag, he had twin 2-year olds, which is like, that's a red flag because those children are really small, you know? So that's a red flag. He's in his 30s. That's another red flag. I typically like older guys. And then, what's the other one? Well, those are the major ones. Supposedly he has a divorce, but probably lying about that. And then I asked him what is his ideal first date. You know what he says? He says, go to a park and have some ice cream and maybe a movie. I was like, I didn't even argue. I just unmatched him. That's just my process. I don't negotiate about park offers because if you're offering me the park and it's hot outside, okay? It's hot outside. So either you're going to deal with mosquitoes. So if you go outside early in the day, or if you go outside at dawn, pardon me, at dusk or dawn, you're going to deal with mosquitoes. If you go in the middle of the day, it's very hot. So you want me to go be in the heat with you or get bit by mosquitoes? Why? Why would I do that? No, I don't want that. So that's just my process. You ladies are going to have to figure out what works for you, but I'm not in middle school, so I'm expecting more than ice cream. I'm expecting more than ice cream. So yeah, I just unmatched him. I don't argue with Dusties. I don't go back and forth with them about what I'm worth because you have to also realize I'm being offered, I'm in the process of um finalizing like an international trip date. Um, I'm hold on. Let me see what my friend said. I'm texting with somebody right now about a 5-star restaurant. Let me see what he said. Because I didn't like the first restaurant he offered. So I told him if he could choose something else. And he came back to me with, oh, he told me I can pick which one I want. He came back to me with like two really good date offers. So this is my life. And then I'm talking to an attorney that wants to take me to um, a 5-star restaurant, and this other guy, I'm like literally scrolling my roster right now. Hold on. This guy is super interesting. Like, this is going to be something different from me. This is like his cultural background is a little bit mixed up. So I'm interested. Oh, and then I have a five-star restaurant date this Friday already scheduled with this businessman who's older. So you have to understand, like, the reason why I don't get in a tissy fit about people coming to me about ice cream is because I just have a lot going on. I don't even have time to I don't even have time to be upset. God forbid someone tried this with me too. Park, date, and chill. Date. Yeah. So, when you have a lot going on, you don't have enough time or energy to get upset about what any one person does. You know what I'm saying? Because you just have a lot going on. I mean, Dusties are going to shoot their shot with anybody. It could be a supermodel. It doesn't matter. A Dusty is going to shoot their shot. So I think the main thing to remember is not to take anything personal, and don't let it deter you, and don't let it take up too much energy. Just unmatch and move on quickly. Quick as possible. Move on as fast as possible so that you can start talking with guys who, um, until you start talking with guys who are going to be able to, come to you with a better offer. You know what I'm saying? Like off the bat. Because a lot of these dusties, it's like a lot of guys who are established and have resources to date, um, a lot of things are not a big deal to them. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday, I had a brief conversation with this guy. He was actually a white guy, and um, he wanted to talk to me. Like, he was like, "Oh, I'm at a bar, but it's a little bit slow, but we can talk." And I was like, "Well, let's just wait until um, another time because I don't like to be an add on to whatever you're doing. If you're at the bar, then be at the bar. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to throw me into the mix because you're bored. No, if you're going to talk to me, you should be sitting down, like ready. And I'm not going to talk to you forever. We're talking 5 to 15 minute conversation. So not all day, not an hour or two, but yeah, for 5 to 15 minutes, I would expect to have your undivided attention. So, am I going to be on the phone with you when you're at the bar? No, I'm not. That's just, I mean, I guess that's a standard that I came up with on the fly, but it's just something I'm not going to do that. So he called anyway after I told him that I didn't want to talk and let's talk another time. And I said, have a great night out, and like talk to you later. He called anyway. And so I was like, I didn't answer. And so he unmatched me. That's fine. I don't care. Like, I have a lot. I mean, I'm trying to organize it now so that I can make sure that I'm being meaningful and like focusing my energy where it needs to be. Okay, it says, do you keep them in the app until the first meet in person? Yeah, I do. Usually, yeah. Because I don't give out my phone number usually on the app. I wait until I see them. However, let me make a little caveat. I'm about to make a major rehaul of two of the apps that I'm on. So I'm about to delete my account and restart it and do premium. I'm about to delete my free account and just redo it all premium. So in that sense, the people that I actually want to talk to, I will give them my internet number. So there's levels to it. So the first level is chatting on the app. The second level is voice chatting on the app. The third level is we meet. The fourth level is I will give you my number, and that will be the internet number. And then the step after that is I will give you my actual number. So it takes a lot to get my actual number, you see? It takes a lot. I don't just give it out to everybody. And that really does create a lot of layers. It really creates a lot of buffers to having problems and drama. And it helps you really vet the guys to make sure that it's going to be a good situation, a good, comfortable situation for you. And you're able to assess their consistency, their character, You're able to assess their a generosity, their investment of time, energy, effort, and resources into you and into the connection that you're building. What apps do I recommend? It really just depends on your location, I think, because I am in level up groups with women all over the country and the world. And it's just so fascinating how one app, and it'll be comparable women, like women who are comparable in age and looks. And then in one demographic, one demographic of the country, that same person will be on an app and they'll be getting dates and all kinds of dates. And then another person, it's totally dry for them. But then an app that's not working for them is working for them. So I can give general advice, and I would say Bumble Premium is a good one. Hinge, depending on where you are. Depending on where you are. It all depends. So Hinge and Bumble. I've heard really wonderful things about Match, and I've heard Match is dry. So, I mean, I know somebody like to this day, a dark-skinned, beautiful black woman in her 40s. She's in her 40s. She's absolutely gorgeous. She is beautifully dark brown, phenotypically African woman, and she is engaged to a multimillionaire that she met on Match. And she doesn't really have to work. She works a little bit, but she don't have to work. She pretty much does what she wants to do all day and looks cute and takes pictures and does whatever she wants. She works whenever she feels like it. So could I throw Match away? No, because I personally know people who have met very generous, wealthy men on Match. But I also have talked to women who Match isn't working for them. So that's why it's so hard for me to be like, oh, this app right here, this app is a holy grail, and this app is going to solve all your problems. I can't give that. I can't give that advice wholeheartedly because I just can't. It just depends on where you are. Um, Now with Bumble Premium, and that's why I don't say Bumble in general, I say Bumble Premium. So with Bumble Premium, you only match with guys who've already chosen you first. Like guys who've already liked you, and it's just like they like you, but they can't contact you. So I would only recommend Match Premium. Pardon me, Bumble Premium, not the regular Bumble. Because I'm not saying that regular Bumble isn't the best, but I think that it's very important for us as Black women to make sure that we are the man's preference. So if you reach out to him first, he might respond because he's thinking in his head, oh, well, she's interested in me anyway, so let me contact her, whatever, it's all good. Maybe I can get something out of it, when indeed you're not even his preference. So we really are trying to avoid engaging with men who were not their preference. So that's why I recommend letting them reach out to you first. But yeah, I'm honestly I'm really happy with my roster. I have one guy who's kind of fading out because, yeah, he was investing and he was spending energy and time, but he's ready for a payout right now. After what, the fourth date, I think he was ready to get it started. And I'm like, you haven't, in a very nice way, like you haven't done enough. You don't even know my last name. And he doesn't. So you wanna roll around in the bed. You don't even know my last name, but you're ready to roll around in the bed. Bro, no. Have a seat. So he's a sweet guy. He's not rude. He's not belligerent at all. He knows how to he's a guy, but I think that for a guy, he kind of knows how to contain himself. But I just think that he's reached that point of like, I don't have no more to give. And like, this is my limit. This is what I'm going to give. And I want to see what all I can get for it. And it's not it's like, okay, it's just, I'm not moving. It's not enough for me. So that's basically the negotiating part. What you've given is not enough. And it's not enough time. You don't even know my last name. You know what I mean? Like, no. And so you do, that does happen. And I also think that when you have an attitude of dating without devastation, you're not so invested that every single guy has to be Mr. Right. Every single guy has to be the one. You guys are going to buy a house, you're going to have a white picket fence, you're going to have 2.5 kids, and you're going to have two dogs, and you're going to da 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 da. When you astro project yourself into that fantasy, every single guy you date, that's how you get heartbroken. But when you just pace yourself and you allow yourself to enjoy the process and you just look and see how he's demonstrating, usually guys will weed themselves out when they're not going to do anything else for you, because they're only going to spend their time on what they're only going to spend their money. Number one, their money. Number one, their money on what they want. That's just a Fendi fact. They're only going to spend their money on what they really, really want. I mean, and when a man wants something, like, there's no price tag that's going to keep him away from it. It could be a Ferrari, it could be Jordans, it could be the next PlayStation. It don't matter what it is. He will scrimp and save and figure out a way, or go get the type of job that's going to get him the stuff he wants. That's just life. So when you get to that point with a guy where he's like, I'm not spending no more money on you, that means I don't really like you. That's how that translates. Now, they're going to play all kind of mind fuckery games to be like, well, I just need to see you sacrifice for me and compromise. And I, like, even that guy had all these verbal gymnastics when he was when we were negotiating, he had all these verbal gymnastics. And this is what I hear. That's what I hear. I don't hear none of that shit because I don't compute. Okay. Listen, I'm a very simple woman. You trying to be my boyfriend? That's not for the faint of heart, first of all. Are you really about that life? Are you really about that life? Are you really about that life? Because I think you want the benefits of my boyfriend, but I don't know if you're really about that life. Okay. So I already told him, I was like, well, everything as it relates to the car is your responsibility. So he started doing stuff for the car. Yes, he has fixed the car. He has done stuff for the car, but that wasn't the whole thing. Yes, fix the car, take care of the car, but also there's other bills associated as well. And also, where is, like, if you're trying to be my boyfriend, that means that you are thinking about marriage eventually. Otherwise, don't waste my time. Like, I don't need a whole slew of like, I don't need that. That's not my aim in life. I don't need to be validated by somebody calling me their girlfriend. I don't give a shit. I'm the one, like, you're the one getting more shine from me being your girlfriend. There's way more benefits in it for you. So, yeah, I have my requirements. So when we're negotiating this, he's like, all these verbal gymnastics. I don't listen to any of that stuff. Listen, I'm simple. These are the bills, bro. Are you ready to pay them? Well, I think I can handle half. No, we can't go no half on, no, because I've already, like, been very modest and fair. So no, I'm not negotiating down any further than this. This is what it is. Well, can I get in the meantime? My companionship. You get to sit next to me. That's what you get in the meantime. Okay, well, listen, that's what I have to offer. That's what it is. You want to date me? That's fine. Then you get the benefits at the dating level. But you don't get to, like, do a handful of things and then think I'm going to bust it wide open for you because you smiled and did something for my car. Like, that's not what we're doing in 2021. We're not even doing that in 2021. So, like, we still talk a little bit, but he has really backed off because he is not about that life. Guys will be so in love with you until they see your bills. Guys will not be able to get enough of you until they see your bills. Then they start, let me see it. Oh no, we gotta compromise, and you gotta work with me, and I need you to sacrifice. I'm saying sacrifice. I am allergic to sacrificing, baby. I do not sacrifice for no man. I told him that straight up. I don't sacrifice. I said, listen, sir, I'm living my life at this level, and I'm pretty comfortable, and I feel good. and I really love my life, and I feel like any man that wants to be my boyfriend is going to improve my life. What can you do to improve my life? Okay, well, and when you figured, and then, and then I said, well, I trust you that you, I trust that you can take your business to whatever level you want, and you'll be able to get whatever you want. And if I'm what you want, then you'll be able to get that too. All right, so let's go. Like I'm so immune to, like, if you tell me I need to sacrifice to be with you, please know that I'm putting on my cleats, my track shoes, and I will be running away. On what planet is that appealing? On what planet is that appealing? So I'm gonna get a gift. I'm gonna wrap it up and get when I open it up, guess what that is inside that gift? Sacrifice and compromise and downgrading. Not on the baby. I can't do it. I can't do it, won't do it. I won't do it. So, yeah, he's still around, but men will weed themselves out. So you won't even really have to break up with anybody. They'll break up with themselves. Like they'll break up themselves. There won't be anything that you have to do. Like, just keep your standards. Know what your standards are. And I know y'all been telling me that I need to break that down. I keep getting, seeing messages on the message board and the level up groups about, I don't have any standards. How do I create standards? And we need to like really break that down step by step. I don't have time to do it right now, but I will do it. I promise you, ladies, I will do it because coming from a mammyism culture, a pick culture, absentee father, abusive household, mammy mother, ultra pick all of my aunties, mammies. So I didn't get to learn this when I needed it. I didn't get to learn that, oh, did you know you're supposed to have standards? That, we are reared to, like, if a black man has a pulse and a penis, then he is a great candidate. Like, bust it wide open for him, be with him, cater to him, serve him. All he needs is a pulse and a penis, and you good, girl. That's all you need. And so, I mean, that's my family's, like, that's my background. That's my background. That's where that's the culture of my family. Like pulse and a penis. Those are the requirements to be a man, like be someone's woman. If he has a pulse and a penis. And so, through bumping my head multiple times, ramming it into walls, being frustrated and confused, used, abused, tossed to the side, exploited, extracted, tired, and then you're like, this isn't working. I have to switch it up. And so this process started back in 2000. Well, yeah, I'm gonna just say 2019, just to be generous. I'll say 2019. Made a lot of mistakes along the way, but what I did know was that I'm not about to be laid up with nobody for free. Those days are gone. I'm not gonna do that. Because when you have a child and you're raising the child by yourself and you're responsible for all the financials for that child, children are very expensive. So you shouldn't be doing anything with someone where a child could come out of it and that person is a broke ass dusty. You just shouldn't. Anybody that you choose to um anybody that you choose to interface with on that level should be able to take care of you and any product of your interaction, i.e. a child. I mean, that's a basic barometer of judging if you should, allow someone into your intimate space like that. So, so yeah, back to my roster. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I have really great guys in the pipeline. I have a couple of out of town guys. Well, yeah, a few actually. One of whom really has piqued my interest. Um, what I do for out of town guys, I don't do like random video chats unless you are like my man. Like you got to be like really contributing to my life if you think you can just FaceTime me whenever you want to at your convenience. If you think that you like that's a lot of access to me, and so that must mean that you are really taking care of me. So I don't do that. So what I do when a guy lives out of town and they're either want to fly me there or they want to like come to my city and be with me, go out on a date at meaning go out on a date. What I do is I do like a virtual date. I like to keep things very formal. I don't let my hair down, let it loose, let it all out. I know it's like I say I'm spontaneous to reel them in, but then once they meet me, they realize I'm not spontaneous at all. Like I'm very calculated and planned out. I just say I'm spontaneous, but I'm so not. I'm very planned out and I'm very calculated in what I do and all the moves that I make. So what I do is I plan out virtual dates and like I get dressed up. I wouldn't say that I get dressed up as though I'm going on like an actual date, but I darn near. I don't just roll up on the FaceTime looking any kind of way. No, I do my makeup, I do my hair, I do my background, I check my lighting. Like it's a whole production. It's seriously. I don't like I don't, and I think that's probably why some people don't want to do level up dating because it is like a bit cumbersome. I mean, you can't be like you have to let go of your lazy girl ways. You really have to put effort and energy to attract these like wealthier guys, right? So I go all out. I do everything. Not quite as much as though if I were going out, but I still put a lot of effort into it. And then I have him order me wine and cheese. And then I'll usually like find a game or like think of questions that I want to ask him. And I don't do it for longer than like 25 minutes, you know? Now, during the pandemic, when I first did virtual dating, that's when I first did virtual dating was during the pandemic. I was messing up. I was messing up. I was on the phone. I was on there for like an hour and a half, an hour. I was letting the guy get off the phone. Like, you always need to end the call. Don't let him end the call. You need to end the call. I was letting him in the call. I just didn't know. I mean, I did get dressed, like makeup and this and this and that, but I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to spend that much time on the phone, on the video. So I was doing that. And that was like a major mess up. And like now that I'm reflecting back on that particular guy, yep, that's the last super malignant narcissist I've ever dated. Well, I take that back. He's the last malignant narcissist that duped me. I still encounter narcissists and I'll still spend a narcissist money. I don't give a shit. Money is green, narcissistic money is green, empathetic money is green. I spend money that's green. But I be knowing that they narcissists. You know what I'm saying? And you manipulate me, okay, baby. I'm gonna manipulate you right back, baby. We're gonna be manipulating each other. I don't care. But this narcissist fooled me. He fooled me because he reads a lot of books about psychology and he uses buzzwords and a lot of like, I would call him he has a PhD in pickup artistry. Like he is super advanced. If you weren't the narcissist whisperer like I am, he would fool you and waste your time for years. I found his ex-wife. In fact, he told me he was married once. I found out he was married 3 times. I found the ex-wife and I started to reach out to her, but I was like, it's not even worth it. It's not even worth it because, in fact, I'm not even sure if she's the ex-wife. I think that they're separated going through divorce. I think he's hiding assets and that's the holdup. That's just my assumption. I really don't know because I couldn't find the papers. I'd probably have to actually go to the county, but I don't know where she filed because I'm sure it was her. She's like way younger than him. I'm sure she filed because of his narcissistic abuse. I'm sure she filed. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where. If I knew, if it was local, I'd probably go down there and read and be nosy, but I don't know where they filed. But yeah, he fooled me. He fooled me. Yeah, I mean, a lot of future faking, a lot of future faking, a lot of, not really empty promises, but just like everything that you think that you want to know as a woman, they pretty much tell you that. So they talk about, oh, I want to be this kind of dad one day. I envision myself being this kind of dad, and oh, I want to take care of my family. Now, meanwhile, he hadn't given me anything, right? So now that I'm more advanced, those words mean absolutely nothing to me. I don't give a shit what you say about anything. I only care about what you do. And you can be as rich as you want to. Until that money is transferring from your account until my account, I don't care about your money. I don't care about your money. I don't care what kind of car you drive. I don't care who you're hobnobbing with. I don't care about your celebrity friends, or I don't care about any of that. Until that money is transferring from your account to my account, until either my Cash App is blinging, or Zelle is emailing me, or Venmo is messaging me, hey, you got a deposit. I don't care. I don't care. But at that time, I was more naive, and I'm dating for love. I'm dating for, oh, let me see what kind of great guy this is going to be. So with him saying like, oh, I'm going to do this one day, and I vision myself like that. I'm going to take care of my family. I'm such a family man at heart. Meanwhile, you're 50 and unmarried. Like what? Like stop, stop. And also the way you don't move like a man who wants to be married. You move like a bachelor with a rotation. I have a roster. I know you have a rotation, and I know I'm a part of your rotation. If you really saw me as a woman that you could consider marrying, you would bump me up in priority in your rotation. I wouldn't say you would get rid of your entire rotation, but I would feel a difference. I know that I would be bumped up in priority on your rotation, which would then require me to bump you up in my roster. But that never happened. You're just bumping your gums saying that you want marriage, but you don't move like that. Or if you want that, you don't want it from me. Either way, I'm not going to continue to invest my time. We had this conversation, and this is how I know he was a narcissist. It was a word salad. When you confront someone on something like, hey, I felt overpowered and really railroaded with what you did when you did X, Y, and Z. And then when that person's like, um, they get mad at you for having the feelings that you have, that's a red flag, because people should be allowed to feel whatever they want to feel, even if you don't understand their feelings. You understand what I'm saying? People should be able to feel whatever they want to feel. So if you're expressing your feelings to a man and he's like upset at your feelings, like, well, I don't think you have the right to feel that way, or like, why, that's a red flag. And then it was like jumble word salad, blah blah blah. I um gaslighting, word salad. um I just started listening at that point in time. Like, you're not going to stand with me and understand what I'm saying. You don't want to try to inquire with my feelings. You don't want to try to correct your behavior. You don't want to be curious about what's going on. You just want to gaslight, word salad, shut me down, alienate me, get upset about my feelings. And then I just shut down. Like, I'm shutting down because this feels horrible. And I'm shutting down because I'm listening. I need to hear what you're saying. I need to hear this word salad so that I can attempt to process it later. And when I tried to process it later, I couldn't. And the reason why I couldn't, because it was a damn word salad. It didn't make any sense. It didn't. The point of it was to confuse, emotionally confuse, and to assert power in the dynamic, because they can't be equal with you, these really highly narcissistic people. They have to assert dominance and control, and they do that through confusing you so that you don't know how to interact with them, right? And they want you vying for their love and attention. That's how they win. That's how they continue to manipulate people, right? So I was After that conversation, I was 80% sure he was a narcissist. Very advanced, might I add. Like, if you can get past me, he got very far. If you can get past me, you've got a PhD in psychopathy. Like, you're good at it. You got to be good to get past me, because I can spot that shit from the gate. He got past me. But I mean, also at that time, I was a blabbermouth. I used to talk too much. I let my guard down too soon. So there was a lot of things that I really hadn't refined at that point in time, which definitely gave him an edge. But but yeah, he was super advanced. So make a long story short, I ended up having another conversation. No, and after that word salad, he was like, "Man, I really enjoyed our conversation." And I was just like, "Oh." I'm thinking in my head, I am tired. I am exhausted from this conversation. I literally took a nap, y'all. I laid down and I took a nap. I drank some water and I took a nap because energetically, spiritually, emotionally, I was drained after that conversation and I needed to recharge. And he was like, "Man, I really feel like we had a great conversation." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely." Because one thing that I even knew then, don't argue with narcissists. It's not worth your time. It's not. It's not a good use of time. So I was like, "Oh yeah, 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 you're right. You're right. You're right." This was a great conversation. And then another conversation we had similar, just word salad, blah, 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 you know. And so from then I put him in the category of very unimportant, very unimportant. He's reached out to me twice. In fact, like maybe 2 weeks ago. I didn't respond. And then around Christmas, I didn't respond because I really don't have anything to say. You're a high value Dusty. You have money, but you're stingy. And I don't like stingy men. I'd rather get with a guy who makes modest money, but gives me money, gives me what he can. I'd rather be with a guy who's more modest, who gives me what he can, than to be with you who supposedly has all this money, but you're stingy. No, I'm not interested in that. No, gracias. And I'm not interested in any mind games. I don't want to do that. It's too advanced. I'll say this, I can handle a dash of narcissism, but I can't handle it when it's that much. That's too much for me. I know my threshold. I know my threshold for narcissism, and he far exceeds what I'm able to endure. It's too much for me. I can't do it. So, yeah. So anyway, the out of town guys, one of them is in this state that I really want to go to. So I'm excited. He's an executive. He's older, a lot older. um, but yeah, I really want to visit his state because it's really gorgeous and it would be a ton of fun. And then the other guy who's out of town, I don't know about him. He lives like several hours away. We'll have to see. I mean, we'll play it by ear. So far, he is accommodating of me. He accommodates me. So that's a good sign. So we'll see how that goes. And then the international trip, I'm working on that. I probably will tell y'all about it like after it's said and done because I don't want to jinx it and I don't want to mess it up. So y'all just stay tuned for that. I'll probably tell you after. I'll probably tell you after I come back and all of that jazz. I'm trying to think of anything else with my roster. No, only that I'm just happy. I'm happy with my date offers. I'm happy with the communication that I have. I'm happy with the quality of men that I'm interfacing with right now. I'm happy with all of that. Just honest to goodness truth. And the other day, I bought myself some flowers because I wanted them. So I bought myself flowers, and guess what? Like 2 days later, I went to go meet with one of my guys, and he had bought me these beautiful roses. And you know what it told me? It told me that flowers beget flowers. When you treat yourself well, it's just something energetically. You put out an energy into the world that you are to be cherished. You put out this energy in the world that you deserve nice things, you deserve flowers, you deserve good treatment. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, I kid you not, like 3 days later, after me buying myself flowers, a man bought me flowers. And usually when I get flowers from men, I hint at that I like flowers. I mean, this isn't the first time I get flowers as much as I ask for them. They'll get me what I ask for. So I may say something like, "Oh, if you bring flowers to our date, I would be so happy about that." And they'll bring me flowers. So I always drop these hints about what I want or about flowers and things like that. But with this guy, I never said anything about flowers, you know? I never said anything about flowers. I was at the farmer's market. I got produce and all this jazz, and I just like, oh, let me buy flowers. It was the beginning of the week. Like, oh, let me start the week off with flowers. Bought my flowers. And then I kid you not, 3 days later, out the blue, this man, when I showed up to our date, he had roses for me. So that solidified for me, it reiterated the universal principle of you get what you put out. So that is why it is so important for you to take the time to treat yourself well. I've been talking to this one sister a while ago who is, had a really bad relationship with a very malignant narcissist and wanted to get back into dating, but, didn't really know how. I said, I would take myself to a five-star restaurant. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. I would take myself to a five-star restaurant. I would get dressed. I would plan a date with myself. I really would. And the reason why I say that is because you need to change the trajectory. So if you've been on this trajectory of dustiness, chaos, confusion, abuse, you know, Netflix and chill, getting ran through, getting, manipulated and all this and this and that. If you're on any level of that trajectory, you need to break it. You need to rip the band-aid off. You need to break that energy. You need to make a 180 away from Dustyville. You need to make a 180 away from being a Mamiana or a Dustiana and get away from Dustavius. So you need to put yourself in a totally different environment. Take the time to do nice things for yourself. Invest energy into yourself. Cherish your body. You want a man to cherish your body? You want a man not to take you for granted? Don't take yourself for granted. Don't take yourself for granted. Don't just treat your body any kind of way. Put any type of poison, any type of low-level food, any type of trash into your body. No. Get the best quality that you can get to put inside of your body. You see what I'm saying? Don't talk to yourself negatively. Don't beat yourself up. If you don't want a man to beat you up, don't beat yourself up. Don't be so hard on yourself. Have compassion for yourself. Have love for yourself. Give yourself a physical hug. And I'm not trying to be cliche. I'm not trying to be a weirdo. I'm not trying to be, super sentimental, but I'm literally saying, give yourself a physical hug. Take the time to appreciate little things about yourself. Start with your toes and work your way up. Appreciate them. Appreciate your feet, your ankles. Appreciate every part of your body. Appreciate yourself. And there's a method to the madness. I'm not saying this just because I have just to be filling the airwaves with breath. No, there's a method to this. And if you want to get back into the dating, if you want to get back into it differently, I promise you, when you put that energy out into the world that I'm investing into myself, it's almost like a company, more or less, right? It's like a company, and the company, is making profit, and that company keeps reinvesting that money back into the company to grow the company and to make the company more efficient in the mission, right? To make that company more valuable. And so then when that company gets ready to get investors, right? Like that's what we want men to do. We want men to invest in us. When that company gets ready to get investments, then those investors are going to be looking at how is the company managing their resources? How's the company, managing themselves? Like how profitable is this? So you don't want to let your books be in a disarray. You don't want to let the human resources be a hot mess and people firing and having bad PR and having all this internal chaos and drama, and then put yourself on out into the stock market and be like, okay, I want an investor. It doesn't work like that. Before you go public, right? So going public is putting yourself on the dating market. Before you go public, you will get your internal house in order. Get your house to be a very lucrative, like a very good investment, like a very solid investment. You want to be a solid investment. You want to be solid to where there's people who want to invest in some companies and they're like, they don't even want, like, they're like, nah, I can't take that investment. It's too low. And you know how I figured that out when I try to get into some mutual funds? There are some mutual funds that are so lucrative to where they will not take, they're like, oh, all you have is 500. No, we start at 15,000. If you don't have 15,000, you can't be a part of our mutual fund. Think about yourself like that, right? You want to get to the point where you're so valuable to where you are deciding which investments that you want to take, which ones are enough so that you can't, you're not, oh, all you have is $5. Well, you can't invest into this at all. That's not the level that I'm at. Not to dehumanize you or anything like that, but it's just a metaphor to think about. And that's why I say to invest in yourself. So yes, buy yourself the flowers, buy yourself some nice perfume, something that like, and it could be small because I know like some level up people have all these insurmountable, like you need a new wardrobe, you need a butt lift, you need a BBL, you need a da da da. I don't do all that. No, no, no. Simple. Keep it simple. Something nice and luxurious. And that could be just something nice for you. It could be nice lingerie that matches. If you got holes in your drawers, like you probably don't feel comfortable going out. You know what I'm saying? Like you probably would feel more confident if you had nice lingerie that's nice. You could put under your clothes. Nobody has to know you have it on, but you know you have it on. And I promise you, you're going to walk with more confidence. You will absolutely walk with more confidence. But it could be something like nice lingerie. It could be some nice luxury perfume. You can go to Sephora, play around with some makeup. You can even get samples. You know what I'm saying? You could even get samples at Sephora if you're not ready to buy more expensive makeup. Just talk to say, hey, I just want to try some stuff out. Get some samples of some like skincare products and makeup and stuff, and just play around with it. Um, make reservations for yourself. At a restaurant, a really nice restaurant, 5 star, the best in your city, whatever the best y'all have. And if you can't afford a whole meal, I think I talked about this on a different life. You could go for breakfast, you can go for brunch, or you could just go for a drink. But just put yourself in that environment. You know, Try to have your car valeted. Try to go somewhere that has valet so that you can just have the full service experience. The full service experience. Take your time. Don't rush through your food. Don't rush through your drink. Take the time to soak in the environment where you are. Really just enjoy the flavors of the food, enjoy the ambiance, enjoy the music. Allow the server to wait on you. Take your time ordering, you know, just soak it up. Soak it up. Really put yourself in that environment. And maybe you go see a show or whatever the case may be, or maybe you go home. But I promise you, it's like once you start putting that energy into yourself, you send a signal to the universe. Oh, she on a different type of time. She on a different type of time today. From now going forward, this woman, okay, yeah, she's the one. And like there's at any point in time that you're ready to level up, at any point in time that you are ready to shake it up and go in a different direction, perfect. Let's do it. You can do it. Whatever time you're ready. When you're ready, the universe is ready. When you're ready, it's time. step by step, but just breaking that pattern and just doing something new. And you too will roster date. You too, you're gonna do good. Now, I feel like when I talk to you ladies, the biggest roadblocks to the roster dating is, I think that it's got, you have to figure out your agenda first. You need an agenda, because if your agenda is to find love, roster dating is not going to work for you. It's not. I don't know, like I can't be any more direct than that, but it won't work. It won't work. And I feel like mostly black women are the only ones reared to try to find love. Most women are trying to meet their family needs first. They're trying to meet their family needs first, and love grows. And I mean, you don't have to, if it's kind of one of those things where you need to find somebody that you can believe in enough to trust their advice. Because what I would tell you is to try it and see how you feel. Because if all you've ever done is like fall in love with this one, heartbreak, fall in love with that one, heartbreak, fall in love with that one, heartbreak. If that's all you've ever done, and I'm telling you to abandon that and to date with an agenda, it probably seems extremely foreign. Probably seems extremely foreign. But what I would say is try it. Find someone who treats you like a princess, somebody who treats you like you're the prize. Find somebody that treats you like the prize, that pursues you and wants to impress you, and who is generous. I can pretty much guarantee if you do that, if you date 3 guys like that, you will never be running around for love again. You'll just stop that, because you will love how you feel. You'll love how he makes you feel. You see, you won't be doing that. It'll be easier not to do that. I mean, like sometimes there's one guy who fell off he's falling off. He's definitely falling off. And am I heartbroken? No, I'm not heartbroken. Do I feel a way? Yeah, I do. What is the way that I feel? I feel, oh, it's hard to explain. I feel, I don't know how I feel. I'm sorry. I'm usually really good at expressing my feelings. I don't know how I feel about it. I really don't. I feel something, but I can't articulate how it is. But he's falling off. He's falling off, and as a feminine woman, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do to salvage it. He's falling off because he wants to. And I think that's just part of it. Like if you want to be feminine, you have to let men go when they're ready to go. If you want to be feminine, you have to let men go who want to go. If you want to be feminine, you have to allow men to go who want to go. Because the minute you start grasping at straws and texting him, asking him why, and we need to talk about our relationship, I want to know what happened, what changed, that you move into the masculine role. And he may accommodate you because at that point he will feel like, well, she likes me more. So let me just milk it for whatever I can get out of it. But that doesn't mean that you're his preference. That doesn't mean that he really wants you. That doesn't mean anything. He will just entertain your drama. If you give him drama and emotions and my heart and I want to talk, he'll entertain it. He might get some ass out. He might get something out of it. So he might entertain it. But the truth of the matter is he's floating, floating, floating down the river away from me. I'm still here. Nothing, to be honest with you, nothing about me has changed. I have not changed at all. He's the one who has changed. He's the one who has changed. Again, where that other guy was, where we got to where we're trying to negotiate what for the next level, and you're trying to lowball me and that's not enough and we can't, okay, so we left it at that. So that's kind of where we were a little bit, but not as in depth with the negotiation because he never got a price. He never got a price. He knows he got to pay though, all the bills, and I want a car. He knows that. But we never got into the details of the actual amount. But he wants all the benefits of girlfriend. He's not even offering a title, and that shit is free. Not that a title is enough for me. I don't care. Like, a title is absolutely not enough. But you're not even offering a title. You just want all the benefits of being my, like me being your girlfriend. But you haven't sat down to talk to me about the logistics and the investment, the money, the bills, all of that. You don't want to talk to me about that. And yes, he has done stuff for me, little gestures. They're little gestures here and there, which if you give me little gestures here and there, oh, a little tiny cash app, a little something here and there, oh, a nice date. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. That means that we're dating. Little gestures means that I like dating you. Here you go. Here's some nice gestures. Here's a few little things I'm gonna throw to you. I appreciate that. Thank you. That lets me know that we're dating. But you can't invest at me at the dating level and expect girlfriend benefits. Like, no, I'm not doing that. And then you're not ready to sit down to really negotiate things. No, like, I think that this guy is playing around. He obviously has a rotation. I irritate the shit out of him because I'm not easily impressed, right? I'm not easily impressed. And the trinkets that he's given me is not enough to get what he wants. So I wouldn't say he had a little tantrum, but he's definitely bumped up against the line of offensive as far as being dissatisfied with the fact that he is being held into a dating pattern and not advancing into anything else. But the truth of the matter is, you're only trying to advance physically. You're not trying to advance in the other things that are important to me. I know you want the physicality. Like, I don't give, like, we all know that. We know you want to access this heaven. I know that. So let's get that out of the way. But I don't have my needs met. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing that. So, you know, there's a couple things he's kind of, yeah, he's narcissistic for sure. So a couple things that um definitely slowed things down to where I probably could have, gotten more investment from the dating situation. Number one was telling them I know the con. So it's better, I think, to play stupid and act like you just don't know what they're doing, like you just don't know, instead of like, hey, this is what you're doing, here's the con, here's the game. Some guys don't respond well to that. They don't like to know that you know more than them. They don't like to know that you're on to the con. They would prefer to think that they're winning, and they don't like women who are smarter than them. So I should have just let him go on with his con and kept on string, kept kept up the charades, whatever you plan, we can play together. That's fine. I should have done that. And then another thing was, we had like a long pause of not talking, and he was like, "Oh, I just want to know if you dated anybody in between." And I messed up and said I did. His brand of narcissism, it would have been better to just be like, "I don't know. I don't even want to talk about that. I just want to talk about you right now." I should have just blew it off. You know what I'm saying? I should have just blown it off and changed the subject. Because sometimes, like, honesty is not your friend. You're better off just being vague and coy and being cute and laughing and just changing the subject. So from that point on, it was just kind of like, what do I need to do to be with you? And it was just like, okay, this is too much. I'm not about to talk to you about that right now. I will talk to you about that later. And then it was just like, okay, well, I'm just going to go out of town and then act a fool. And then it was like, oh, I miss you. I'm going to buy you all this stuff when I'm out of town and bring it to you. And I'm like, okay, where's my bag? Where's my stuff? And there's some other things that he said he was going to invest in my business. And then now he's pretending like he's stupid. So I'm not going to confront him on the things. He knows what he said he was going to do for me. I know what he said he was going to do for me, and he didn't do it. So that's my answer. I don't need to press the issue. It is what it is. Sometimes sometimes things come to an end, and I just think that when when we grasp on, the old me would have been grasping on, like, We need to figure this out. We need to sit down and work it out. Like, no, he's trying to go. Let him leave in peace. You don't want to be holding on to someone's coattails and them dragging and you grab onto their ankles and they're walking away and you just no, don't go. No, I mean, you know what it is. You have an idea, you have an inkling as to what I offer and how you feel when you're with me and about how everybody looks at you like, how did you get her when we go out? You know how people look at you like, what is she like? How did you get her? Okay. So I know my worth, baby. Like, I know what I bring to the table. Now, I already know you're going to spend money on me, but he's going to go sleep with a Freak Misha. I don't care. If Freak Misha wants to sleep with him for free, that's Freak Misha's business. I'm not about to sit up here and be worried about what Freak Misha or Pig Misha got going on. I don't care because I'm not competing with Freak Misha. I'm in a whole nother league. I'm not even in the league with Freak Misha. You understand? Like, so he took me, I don't know how many five-star restaurants. I don't know how much money is this man giving me? I don't know. And I'm still maintaining my sacred space. Exclusive, baby. This is exclusive. And you can go and get you a 20-something-year-old Freak Misha, take her to a nice restaurant, she'll bust it wide open, then go do that. Go do that. I'm not about, it's not a race to the bottom. I don't like, I'm not going to move. Mm-mm. I'm not going to move off my square. It's just not what I'm going to do. I can say I'm irritated a little bit at the little mistakes that I made to mess up my money flow. I am irritated about that. And at the same time, I learned from the interaction with him, and I won't be doing that again in the future. I will just hee hee play dumb and get all the resources that I can get until either you give me more or it comes to an end. Now, ultimately, the goal is someone is like, yes, this is the one. I'm going to take care of her forever. And then this channel will change. This channel will be something else. Dropping in while hitting errands. Hopefully, I'll make it back for the chat. Okay. Well, I'm getting ready to sign off. I really appreciate you, ladies. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, and comment. If you guys have questions, if you ladies have questions, you can hit me on Instagram, my DM. We do have a private Discord now. So if you would like an invitation to the Discord, you can, I think for now you can send me a message on Instagram. But please leave me a voice note. You don't need to come on camera, but just please leave me a voice note so that I know that you're legit, so that we can keep our Discord private and safe for everybody. So yeah, thank you so much. Y'all have a blessed one. Peace.